Welcome, people, to Misfits and Termina episode 2. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever
Hey,
you're at. I am Kxng Majora. Of course, we got DigiFits right here. Doing it a little bit differently than last time. It was hard to hear me, and there was a lot of issues, audio cutting up and everything else. So we decided to do it the old-fashioned way. So, yeah, how you been, man?
I've been good. Been vibing as usual, working on music and shit.
Hell yeah, tell people about your latest project.
So I just finished working on a song. Been working on it on and off for like the last, I don't know, month and a half or so, and never really did much with it. And then uh, 3 days ago, I really started working on it and finished it up, and it is releasing on August 1st. It's called Rule 34.
Hell yeah. Everybody be able to see that on all distributing websites and sources.
Yeah, so it's on all platforms. It's gonna God, I actually, yeah, this one's on every single platform like Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever.
Hell yeah, that's great. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
it's
it.
my first. It's my first jab at heavy electronic music.
Yeah. Everybody be ready to check that out. On what day did you say it was?
August 1st.
August 1st, ladies and gentlemen. So
Yeah, August
you
1st.
had told me in the Discord that you wanted to speak about the music industry. Why don't you give it a little bit on that?
Yeah, so if anyone that makes music knows the music industry is a fucking weird place in the world. Um, I was actually talking to one of my buddies. He does music too, and he was talking about how it's so hard for like artists like us to get noticed, or like anybody like starting off, like to even get a toe in the music industry.
Yeah.
And it has got me thinking like an overall like just kind of like a overall thought of the music industry. Uh, I don't know. I wasn't ready to talk about that one.
Oh shit, you weren't ready to talk about it. Well, I guess I can filibuster. So he was bringing up the music industry. What's interesting about that is recent news. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Universal. Is slowly gaining more and more of the independent artists through like acquiring like uh, I think it was like Virgin Mobile and other places that do distro and other distributions. Uh,
Yeah, I go through DistroKid.
well, it's technically the biggest music label in the world is actually buying up all the parent companies of the independent distribution methods. So that's something that's been happening lately. Eventually, they're probably going to have to get broken up because of antitrust laws. But it's like, you know, they're using these workaround and like sneaky methods of, you know, legal, quasi-legal things to like acquire more and more of the music industry without becoming like I guess seen as a monopoly. But yeah, that's what they've been doing lately. So another thing about the music industry that I wanted to bring up is because excuse me, when people don't know this, if you don't like they usually will have like industry labels will have you sign like a 14-year contract, and the 14 years is like what they expect to be your entire lifespan as a musician, from the beginning to the end, like maximum duration. And for a lot of people that are even successful, it is. But if you don't end up being successful, or you're only successful for a little bit, what ends up happening to a lot of artists is that the mob will actually get involved. Like, this isn't just a conspiracy theory. Well, it is in a sense, but it's like they will have like they will end up becoming dope running operations to pay their bills, because it's not just you might get a lot of money through that label contract, but that so much goes into it, like your shows, your distribution, your merchants, and uh, if you end up underperforming, a lot of the times the mob will get involved to help you make ends meet, and it becomes a dangerous slippery slope. It's like web avenues for like shows will become big operations for drug and you know other types of trafficking. So you brought up Epstein, man. What do you think about all that crazy shit that's been going on with the Trump administration trying to screwed it under the rug like it ain't no thing.
You mean how he's doing everything the opposite of what he said he was going to do?
Oh yeah, he's totally 180. But see, not to get too far from the Epstein shit. I stopped supporting during his first run. I thought I would give him the benefit of the doubt, and I was enthusiastic. But like 3 weeks into his presidency, he bombed Syria, and I was like, well, we all know who he's serving. Of course, at the time, I couldn't do a whole lot of research. Everybody, at the time, I was listening to a lot of Alex Jones because it's funny to listen to Alex Jones, and that was when he was in his peak of like, oh, I'm supporting Donald. I mean, he's still like that. Like at this point, like speaking on the Epstein shit, he's trying to say like, oh, it's important to for Trump to take down the deep state, and it's a threat to the democracy or the republic of the United States. And it's like, man, that dude is so interconnected with Epstein and the pedophile network. It's sickening. I mean, you know, the idea is like that he's not connected. I mean, there's pictures. He's like, I've known Jeff for 15 years. He's a terrific guy, no doubt about it. You know, he likes him on the younger side. That was like one of his paraphrases of one of his quotes. I mean, he had Steve Bannon and his transition in his original team in 2016 presidential run. And that dude was seen going into the pedophile's mansion. You know, Alan Dershowitz, who's big inside, he's a mob lawyer who helped to get Donald Trump off the or not Donald Trump, the Jeffrey Epstein off the first time that he got in trouble for this shit, or one of the first times before this main thing that happened. Of course, there's a lot of shenanigans that goes on with that shit. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, I think his name's Mark or something. Anyway, Jeffrey Epstein's brother had testified that Trump had went on the Alita Express, the pedophile's, airplane. And then, there's the documents of, like, having Trump's personal numbers and emails. I mean, there's so much more to it. That his whole inner circle's deeply connected with it. And it's like Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was a Mossad asset, and like Ghislaine and Donald Trump, like Princess, the Trump princess and Lady Ghislaine were two like cruise ships that were bought from the same Saudi / Jewish billionaire that's connected to Epstein. I mean, there's so many fingerprints. It's like recently they came out and was like, there was the recent reports that Trump was like in his last run, he was like, I hope that they don't come out with this shit, basically, because it could destroy me type shit. So yeah, what do you think about all that, man? This whole Epstein shit.
So I've watched videos on Epstein and all this shit. By the way, Aaron, he commented and said this is the most cover-up thing he's ever seen.
Oh, no doubt.
And yeah. Because, I mean, if you look at it, when Trump was running and everything, he was like, in a lot of his campaign runs, he would talk about how he was going to, like, put all the lists out, like, he was going to, like, put the list out there, like, uncover all the documents and all this shit now that he's in office. He was like, well, I said that when I was running, now that I'm in office.
Well, he did say that for, like, the JFK files. He said that for a lot of things, but he's always been very finicky about the Epstein list, and for good reason. I mean, he's a part of it, and it's like he's trying to say, well, there's people who are not involved that way with Epstein that have known Epstein and connected to him on some level, but it's like, yeah, no shit, but it's like, you are that connected, motherfucker. I mean, it's insane. So
yeah, and watching all the reports of like all the women that have went through Epstein shit, and like all the celebrities that are tied to Epstein, like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Diddy, all of them were all connected to fucking Epstein. And, there's just a huge, like, thing. And then Elon Musk even outed Trump and said his name was on the list on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. I mean it's...
Yeah, Elon Musk on his personal Twitter said Trump was on that list. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we know.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff that's not necessarily secret. It's just well hidden. That connects. Mm-hmm. There's a thread connecting them all, like through Mossad and Israeli intelligence, and all of that jazz. So, I mean, it's bad because, and I said this not too long ago before this shit started to pop up. I was like, look, I was thinking about it. It's like it's the hugest domino effect, even if they don't bring it back up, because it's going to be that cat that gets out of the bag that you can't put back, and then it's going to lead to like, because people don't realize just because okay he's connected and this is connected, but it's also the people who are connected to them who connect to this person to that person. So it's like 7 ways to Kevin Bacon type shit where it's like you wouldn't think these two people would fall for the same exact domino, but they would.
Mm-hmm.
So, it would collapse the entire system, and it's like, bring that shit on, dude. Because if you're not, out of all the things that the United States is protecting pedophiles and shit. It's like, what good are you if you're not even protecting us? You keep encroaching upon us. And it's like I said, it's like, you shouldn't have let it get to that point, in my opinion. I'm not advocating for the destruction of the nation, but it's like, at some point, something's got to give with this, this corruption shit, and especially with the Epstein phenomenon. It's like, give me a break.
Well, and this actually leads into one of the topics I wanted to talk about, which is one I'm like really wanting to talk about, which is the manipulation of social media and how like social media and all social media like apps are, just they're piles of steaming shit, and I really wanted to talk about the corruption of it and um how you're talking about like the Epstein and all that shit getting covered up, and Trump covering everything up too. I'm not a big political person, but I am really big into like real shit that's really going on.
Yeah.
And I'm on social media a lot, so it's kind of hypocritical for me to talk shit about it since I use it literally every day. But a lot of this stems from people being blinded by what they see every day, because the media likes to bend and twist like what we see, what we're allowed to see. Censorship's a huge thing in media. They censor a lot of the things that are the truth and cover things up, twist things, make it seem like this is really happening when this is what's really happening, shit like that. And you know, people get on Facebook every day and watch videos. Like you scroll on reels, like I catch myself doom scrolling for like an hour.
Yeah, that scrolling
Yeah.
on those damn like reel type videos, shorts, and TikToks. I'll catch myself
Yeah.
too. I
Dude,
usually catch myself, but
while we're on this topic, I wish I could show it in the fucking stream. I would take my phone out and show you right now. But every now and then, when I'm on Facebook scrolling through their reels, out of nowhere, I'll get hit with a girl just fucking fisting herself. Just
what?
full on, just fucking masturbating, dude. And like, there'll be like so many like different women that'll pop up in this like same reel where they're like doing different like masturbation techniques, and it's like, oh yeah, join this app and meet all these women, and I'm just like,
Man.
dude, I'm trying to laugh, not bust a nut. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
I'll
no
just be
shit.
scrolling. It'll be a Family Guy meme. It'll be, whatever. I'll just be sitting here just like, oh, hell yeah, Family Guy, all this funny shit. And then boom, titties, and the girl just fucking just destroying her pussy. And
Yeah,
it's like, yo, what is happening? And it's all over Facebook, dude. I haven't had it on any other app. I'll get on Instagram, scrolling the reels. I've never seen it on Instagram. But I get on Facebook, and it's just advertised like crazy. And like another thing is like my Snapchat and stuff, dude. Like I've noticed like they're really trying to push like sexual shit subliminally.
Oh yeah.
Because like, yeah, there'd be like these models that I've never seen before. I've never seen these people, and they're like these random people that I can watch their stories on Snapchat, and I'm like, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah,
And
no
some of these are women that like always have like their feet in like the fucking picture or something, or like a lot of cleavage in some, or like just whatever. And I'm just like, dude, these are ploys to get people's attention to like, watch porn, which I don't have anything against porn, dude. I watch porn all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But it's just weird that this is all of a sudden this is getting exploited like this, and I'm just like, what if I was like 13 or whatever, underage? Like, what if I wasn't 18 yet? These are things that I think about when I see this shit.
Speaking
And it all
of,
falls into what?
did you see that they're starting an ID requirement for pornography websites?
I don't like that.
Yeah, they're trying to say, think of my kids, like they do for everything. And it's like I just got not to say it because I'm not sponsored by anybody, but it's like I got a Proton VPN account just yesterday. Not just for that, but it's going to be the way that you're going to have to you know guide yourself, because it's like I don't want to give my ID to a porn website
You know, and
or anything
you
else
know
for
what?
that matter.
You know what really pisses me off about people with like, oh, but what if the kids see this? You know, there's a lot to that where I can be like, okay, I can understand not wanting kids to see certain things, but when it comes to like censorship on like mass media, I think that's the dumbest shit. Like trying to like censor pornography in countries or like in cities and stuff and states, you know, trying to blacklist all these porn sites and all that stuff. I don't think that's a big deal. You know, if a kid has access to the internet, whatever, that's fine. But like when I'm scrolling on social media and I'm scrolling on fucking Facebook, and next thing you know, like I'm trying to like scroll through reels and I just see some girl fucking fisting herself, that's different. That right there, that's what I have an issue with. I don't care if little Billy's down the streets on his fucking computer searching up porn on the fucking website. That's fine. If he's sitting there scrolling on his mom's phone on Facebook, and next thing you know, he's seeing fucking porn and shit, that's weird. That's like you shouldn't have to worry about finding porn on Facebook because it's supposed to
My
not
thing
have it.
about it is, I think that, and I see what you're saying. My whole view on this, which, in my opinion, is more like in the spirit of the United States, as opposed to people who are flagshipping and being the forefront of this censorship with ID verification, like Texas. Who I've always had a thing where I'm like, man, the ethos of Texas acts like it's super patriotic when it's like this. Not to say all Texans, but the traditional mythos of like God's gun, glory, and apple pie and the Bible shit. It's just like, give me a break. But I'm of the opinion that more of a libertarian and true ethos of the American spirit. It's like I don't I don't think that the government should be policing content or anything. Like in the sense that it's like, you know, there's a parental control option for a reason on all these devices.
It's also kind of like separating church and state too.
How do you figure?
You know, well, because a lot of like the states and stuff that are like banning porn, it's all for religious reasons. It's all for like
Oh, they're appealing to their base, yeah.
yeah, it's like it's appealing to that kind of demographic and those kind of people. And fuck you, Aaron. I'm gonna keep using Snapchat. And sorry, I just looked at my phone and I saw but God damn it, I just lost train of thought. What was I going about?
About they're appealing to the religious base in those
Oh
those
yeah.
states.
So yeah, a lot of that, like like the whole banning porn and stuff. It all appeals to people who are religious. It all appeals to Christianity and all that shit. It appeals to mainly that demographic. And if we didn't have that kind of shit going on, like if we actually truly did separate religious views from our government, we wouldn't be banning porn. We wouldn't be banning anything like that.
Uh, I mean, though I understand what you're saying, I mean that can be really applied to like any sort of ideology, though, if you think about
I mean,
it.
yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from. It's just that I think that, this whole idea of policing the internet or policing devices or policing everyday life in the name of thinking of children, I think it's up to the parents. I think the parents should keep a closer eye on their
Yeah.
kids. This slippery slope of tyranny that happens due to like what should be done, that is already available on these devices with parental control, has affected people, not just the porn viewers in the porn industry that's going to lose a lot of money from people, jumping off ship and going, because it's not going to go to every website. It's going to go to like different like the main flagship the big porn websites like Pornhub, YouPorn, X videos and shit. Like they're going to be the ones that are hit, but the lesser known obscure places are basically not going to comply with it anyway. And like I said, the people like in Texas are the ones that are being spearheaded this right now. But it's like, what happened to individual liberties and responsibilities? I don't understand why you can't just get on your kid. You don't have to. I get it. People have lives and they have work and they can't always be looking at what their kids are doing. But it's like, one, you're not giving them a chance to grow. I'm not saying that I'm advocating for them just getting on porn and shit. But it's like, you could get on there. You could literally spend about 20 minutes setting up. Probably not even that. Setting up parental controls on their devices and boom. But no, you just throw them a tablet and then you bitch about it and want the nanny state to come in and, take care of all of it for you. Next thing you know, they're going to own your kids, and that's a big thing that they're pushing for. Well, especially within like the more metropolitan areas, they're just the policies to make your kid less of your responsibility and of your own into the states. It's the people's child, so to speak, and it's like. That's the type of shit we're dealing with but it's like, it's not just the left, it's the right with this type of shit. I mean, what happened to taking responsibility?
Nobody takes responsibility.
Hell no, that's the main reason that I know the United States is doomed to fail. The Great Experiment's doomed to fail because nobody's willing to do what it takes to learn and do what's right. Not necessarily does that mean, taking up arms or anything, but just to have the knowledge and to have the self-responsibility to police yourself. Otherwise, people are going to make the government do it for you. And I think that's an unfortunate thing.
Yeah, and okay, so you're talking about like parental lock and all this shit. So I'm going to give an example. So when I was a kid, my parents did that shit to me. So you've met my mom. My mom's a super overprotective parent.
Yeah.
My mom is a very overprotective parent. She's a great parent, though. Like, nothing wrong with her. And I also turned out great, I think. I don't know. But, I was one of those kids where I got caught watching porn. Because at the time, you had the demand channels, and they had the HBO channels, Showtime, and all those channels had porn. I discovered that, and there was one night, and I used to have to sleep with my door open when I was in middle school.
Damn.
And so, yeah, it was always risky for me to ever watch porn or anything, so I had to have my door open. But one night, I was like, yeah, they're asleep. I'm going to do my thing. And my dad walked in as I'm in the middle of it, and we just made eye contact. He's like, we'll talk about it. And I'm like, cool. I obviously couldn't keep going, so I just turned off my
You should just kept going, hey, Dad. Hello.
Dude, I
hey.
just looked in the eye and just kept going like a sort of dominance, just like...
You should have said, that's my boy.
You're watching me, you're the gay guy here, dude. Like, you're like, I'm underage, you're a pedophile. Stop. Like, just do that shit. Just one time, after this, got a little side note about that. Took my dad off at a bank one.
Oh,
but,
shit.
So yeah, I woke up the next morning, my dad came into my room, and he's like, yeah, after last night, I am putting parental controls on our TVs. So...
That's crazy.
Yeah, all those channels got blocked and everything, but luckily my grandma lived with us. Grandma wasn't the brightest, and I would always like go to watch a movie and be like, hey, Grandma, can you unlock this for me? And one time I told her to do that, but I didn't turn the parental thing on, so she just typed in the code, and it typed it in, and I could see it on the TV because she put the channel in. So after that moment, I knew the passcode. So
there you go.
Every night. And after that, my dad started letting me sleep with my door closed. So
there you go.
It was like a 2 weeks. I didn't know the passcode or anything. And then finally, I was trying to watch a movie, and my dad was like, oh, yeah, you can watch that movie. I don't care. Boom. Got the passcode from my grandma.
Yeah, I come from... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was actually going to talk about the thing I did to piss off my dad at a bank once.
Well, I wanted to say that, it's interesting you had that lifestyle growing up. It's like, mine was, like, kind of almost the exact opposite, where it's like, I would get on. I was one of the at a very young age, I would be getting on the computer. Like at 4 years old, I was getting on 4 or 5 years old. My dad actually introduced me to Newgrounds. It's a funny story.
Your dad introduced you to Newgrounds?
Yeah, my dad did, because I was like, man,
I got a great story how I found all this shit.
Well, I told him, I was like, man, I want to play a game where you kill Osama bin Laden. So this would have had to have been after 2001, so it would have been like I would have been around 7 or 6, and so he's like, okay, I'll look for you. And then I discovered Newgrounds, and my dad's like, here's this website. Man, I fell on the. It wasn't long before I got into the 18 only section, man. And then after that, I was always looking up porn and shit, and just other shit like crazy shit. I would always be on the internet. I'd be watching like Google Video to watch like anime and shit. But yeah, I was an early pioneer. Like an early pioneer of the internet in that age. I mean, it's internet had been around for a while, but it's. I just think it's funny that the way I was introduced to Newgrounds was my dad at like 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old.
So yeah, I was introduced to Newgrounds 8 or 9, and so like I said, I grew up with a very overprotective mother.
Yeah.
I couldn't play fucking rated M games.
That's crazy.
Halo was the only exception though. Until, okay, so back it up. When I was 7 years old, my parents won an Xbox at a golf outing. I got Halo. They saw they had blood in it. They're like, "Oh no, he'll be fine. He's a smart kid." Not even a year later, I'm setting up like my toys in the hallway, like all like on the ground, and my dad's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, just making a collection of dead bodies. What do you think?" So it was after that they were like, "Yeah, you're not playing video games no more." So when we ended up moving away from that neighborhood, and in that neighborhood we had relatively nice kids. Like we didn't have any kids. There was no kids there that like knew any bad shit. It was one of those uptighty whitey neighborhoods. And so when we moved, I met some neighborhood kids, and I had never met kids like them, man, because they were like the weird kids. They were like the ones that would like make comics and like build giant Lego cities like in their basement.
I made comics. I used to make a lot of comics.
Oh yeah, dude. I had never met kids like this. All the kids I knew like sports. They like, you know, watching TV and all this shit. And these kids, all they do is play video games. Like,
Yeah.
All they do is play video games and like make comic books, Legos, and all this shit. And at the time, like, yeah, I liked video games as a kid, but like, I was outside a lot. You know, I was out doing shit a lot. So when I met these kids, I would go to their house and like start playing games shit with them. And then they showed me Newgrounds. So the first ever thing they showed me on Newgrounds was the Ultimate Showdown.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that was cool. And then right after that, they're like, oh yeah, then there's a parody version of it called the Ultimate Orgy. And it's like, it's the same song, the same setup, but instead of fighting, they're fucking.
Yeah.
And it's super graphic, dude. Like, it's super graphic. I don't know if you can find the video anymore. If I can, I'll send it to you. Because it's funnier than fuck. Because you, like, it starts off with Godzilla with his big old fucking dick, just fucking buildings and shit. And you got Shaquille O'Neal just coming out of nowhere, jizzing on Godzilla's face and shit. Like, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And I had never seen sex before. This is my first ever, like,
your first experience of sex is Ultimate Orgy on Newgrounds parody.
Yeah, the first ever experience I had with anything sexual was the Ultimate Orgy on Newgrounds.
Man.
So and here's the thing, it's all gay. None of it was straight. It was all dudes fucking each other. There was no chick until the very end. It started showing titties and it showed a vagina, and then, dude, my first time seeing a vagina, it was like a very like intense looking one that was all animated and shit, so it looked scary. And so I got freaked out instantly. Vaginas scared me when I first saw one. I was like, yo, what the fuck is that? Like, yo, that's crazy. So yeah, that was the first time I'd ever witnessed like any kind of sexual thing, and it was very intense. But yeah, that was my first day on Newgrounds. I saw the Ultimate Showdown, then I saw the Ultimate Orgy.
Yeah, I like the Clock Crew. I like the Skull Kid. Alien Hominid came from that.
Yeah.
You know, the dating sims was something I always did on there a lot. Yeah, classic times back in the day, man. Old Newgrounds shit.
Yeah,
it's still up.
Ego Raptor, dude, back in the day on Newgrounds.
It's still up to this day, Newgrounds. They've updated, but a lot of it's still Flash, I think. So.
Dude, I
So,
didn't know Newgrounds was still around. I'm about to, after this podcast, I'm about to go search up shit on Newgrounds just for the old memories.
yeah.
God
So,
damn it, dude. I haven't thought about Newgrounds forever.
I wanted to bring up something that was interesting to me going into. It's not necessarily a conspiracy, but it's something that's not very known. Is did you know that the United States military and intelligence had studied extrasensory perception and psychokinesis superpowers?
No.
Yeah, so it started like one of the things that started with was Operation Scanate, SCANATE, I think is how it's spelled. SCANATE, yeah. Operation Scanate, and what it did was they studied remote viewing. You ever heard of it?
I don't think so.
So it's the and they proved that it can happen. The only thing was that they couldn't. And this goes for a lot of the ESP superpowered phenomenon, is that they could find ways that people who could do it verifiably so in a controlled environment, and it worked in a scientific method style presentation and experimentation, but they couldn't find it to where it's universally applied to where anybody could do it. But remote viewing uh, was one of those things where it's like they use their mind and they could see from a distant location, and they could describe it accurately with like coordinates. Like they'd see two coordinates on a like the military instructor would be like, okay, here's two coordinates. They get two people who can do this remote viewing stuff, and they'd use their mind or any methods they could, and then they'd write down or explain what it is that they saw. And there was a lot of success rates with those, like Ingo Swann and Pat Price. These are two people that the United States had used, especially when Dr. Puharich was doing it. This was a doctor who was Dr. Andrea Puharich, who had studied a lot and used. He had his own transcendental like society that was heavily funded, but he this remote viewing, especially in Pat Price and all these, they were so good at it that they had discovered. One time they had found a facility, right, with their mind's eye. So they're using their mind's eye, and they had what they had discovered was they were so good at using their remote viewing that they not only found a location, a facility that was being used by the United States military, but they also did it so well that they found inside the remote viewing sessions with their mind's eye, like documents inside the building with the project's name on it and several officers, to the point where the OVI had to get involved, or was it ONI? I can't remember, the Navy's investigation unit. And basically they were like, other people also got involved, because it's like the Espionage Act was was called into question with these people, because how did you know about clandestine operations when you weren't involved? So they found out a lot about this operation, including where it was at and officers involved and paper documents, to the point they had the name, and they did it all with their mind's eye. And like I said, they got cleared, but they got called into question by the intelligence for Espionage Act, because it's like, how the hell did you know that? I mean, that's how accurate that shit is. I mean, and not everybody who does it's super accurate, but there's been other like ESP related projects, like Project Stargate, Project Sunstreak, Project Grill Flame. But most of them had many successes, and they continued to do it all the way up from like the 70s up until like the late 90s, I think it was, where they were doing like experiments on the psychic phenomena. And it started when it was like they discovered that the Soviet Union was conducting ESP experiments, and they wanted to get in on it. And it's like, yeah, that's a true thing. You can look up that we had studied as a military and intelligence psychic phenomenon such as remote viewing and different psychokinesis abilities. Um, I just think that's crazy that they found out it can work. Like, for sure, remote viewing's the thing. One of the things that they said was, though, they don't know how it works, but it actually is verifiably so that in the sense that it worked more with especially a skilled remote viewer like Ingo Swan. You know that it was more accurate more times than it was not. That they're just using their mind's eye and they're spying on things and seeing things, and a lot of it was going through time. Uh, Speaking of time, did you see where the United States are admitted, like through like a White House, through the White House, that they have the ability to manipulate time and space, leaving distance annihilated?
No.
Yeah, it came out that it's a true thing that came out. You can look it up, White House time space manipulation. But yeah, it was an actual WhiteHouse.com briefing where they said that there was they had the ability to manipulate time. And I was like, holy shit. But it's like, but also the U.S. Navy has been working with a scientist called Dr. Salvatore Pais, and they use exotic tech like that. Like they had patents for it, like a inertial mass production device. I think I got that right. You know, ways to bend space time. You know, they have patents for like a basically anti-gravity craft, and it was backed by the United States Navy. This Dr. Salvatore Pais, or Pais, I don't know how you say it, but yeah, the fact is that more than once they've said that through like the Navy and like through the patents, and the White House itself has said, look, you know, we have the ability to manipulate time and space. I mean, the U.S. Navy had claimed that it had patented technology and the methods of engineering the fabric of reality itself with like quantum machines. So it's like whatever the hell they're doing is crazy. So
That is a lot of information.
yeah, it was, man. I wanted to get that in there. That was something. Have you ever heard of Tartaria?
No.
Okay, this is a conspiracy that I find so fucking interesting. So, yeah, you know, it was big on TikTok for a while and shit. I don't use TikTok, but I know it was big on TikTok for a while.
I'm not on TikTok at all. I haven't used TikTok in over a year.
Well, you go to the Library of Congress, right? And there's maps of this place called Tartaria or Greater Tartary that it spans from like the Russians, the eastern Russian side to the Chinese Orient. It's this huge land. The idea of Tartaria is that there's this the biggest civilization in the world that kind of just got erased from history. And like I said, this erasing would have taken place around the late 1800s. But what's interesting about that is there's actual evidence of something resembling Tartaria. Like I said, in the Library of Congress, which is our official archive of, Library of Congress, it has maps of this Tartaria. There's like images of like old school illustrations from like the 15 and like maps are like from the 1500s and shit. They had like paintings and pictures of that reference this Tartaria. And in fact, the first edition of the 1771 British Encyclopedia mentions Tartary, Great Tartary, and Little Tartary several times. And the CIA has a document. In fact, I want to actually name the document so that if people want to look into it, just to know I'm not bullshitting. Because somebody.
By the way, Aaron. Oh shit.
What about it?
You paused there for a second.
Well,
Aaron is asking a question. I was going to tell the answer is like a solid 9.
Okay. The document
Aaron.
Natural Cultural Development Under Communism is a CIA vault document that revealed, like it's towards the end of the document where it says, look, the Soviet Union has an active attempt to erase and replace Tartaria. So there you have the Library of Congress, the 1771 British Encyclopedia, and the CIA vault documentation claiming that there's this Tartaria that spanned. And there's other documentations and literature from like the early 1900s and late 1800s talking about a place called American Tartary. And the idea is that this empire not only existed in the place of like the you know the Eastern European and the Russian side towards the Asian Chinese side in between there, but also in America and other places. And that's people say it's not feasible that somebody came before then, but it's like, before the Spaniards, but it's like, you got to understand that strait between Alaska and Russia is not too far. You could literally, if you were going the average highway speed in America, you could get there in about an hour if there was a road connecting them. So it wouldn't be so hard to think that they were migrating over from Russia into Alaska and so forth. But the theory goes is like a lot of these big like architectures, like those big grand like churches that like the Catholics have that are like super big and look like castles and shit. Like all of the places, all of the structures that look like castles in these towns. The idea is that they were part of American Tartary, because in that our history was kind of like altered. But what's interesting about a lot of these buildings that a lot of them don't stand anymore. A lot of them were taken down by mud floods and mysterious fires. But not just that, there's weird circumstances surrounding about how these buildings got built and how quickly they got built and how quickly they were decommissioned. I mean, a lot of them were used for like mundane reasons, for like who builds one of these giant castle structures just to be a post office? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, it's weird. Like there's even some circumstances where some are in our current history, they say that they were built and then taken down in the same year, or that they were constructed within like a year, a couple of months, and they only lasted for about 50 years. I mean, weird shit that you wouldn't just build these giant architectures and like why they're halfway underground and shit, But the idea is that this used to, like, our total history has been revamped, and that this used to be kingdom land of the kingdom of Tartary, American Tartary. And I just find it fascinating. I mean, there's people who try to debunk it, and there's people who are advocating for it. But what doesn't change the fact that there is at least solid evidence in the sense that there's maps, there's mentionings, and there's an active, according to the CIA, there was an active plot to erase and replace Tartarian history. You can look into it though. It's called Tartaria, Tartaria. But you'll get lost in the conspiracy of Tartaria, because it's like, I mean, there's claimings that that there was a flag and it's like a yellow and black with like a griffin on it. All that type of shit. But yeah, it's like the idea of a completely manufactured reality that we live in, the sense that it's like, totally fabricated since the 1900s, like late 1800s, early 1900s. So I don't know. I find it interesting, and there's at least some evidence of its existence, whatever it truly was.
I always learn so much every time I come.
Yeah, and one of the things, like I had uploaded the videos to like Instagram and shit, like the reels, and somebody had argued and said that I was wrong on there being multiple gods in the Bible because of one of the singular usages associated with Elohim. But what they don't understand is, no, it's not talking about just one Elohim or one God. There's several in the Bible itself, and several like logical reasons. Like, why would you use other Elohim and references of other gods in the Bible if there was just one supreme creator? I mean, people will be in denial because they've been brought up to believe something with such indoctrination that they can't see the actual Hebrew text for what it says. Multiple, like a henotheistic, polytheistic, you know, in the perspective of these Jews. But it's like, and somebody tried to tell me that when I was going on that whole diatribe about Satan being manufactured and not real, they said it's based on bad history. It's like, no, I'm actually taking the actual text of what it says, and I'm sorry it goes against what you believe in your certain interpretations of history and usages. But it's like, I've studied this shit for years. I know what I'm talking about. I don't have the baggage
of. I'm atheist.
Well, the thing about it is it's not even religious. Really, it's not really all that religious. It's a story about these beings called the Elohim and how they interacted with humans, and specifically more oriented towards the kingdoms of Judea and Israel. I mean, yeah, but it's fascinating because it's like it's not even talking about an omnipotent deity at all. Now, I don't know about the New Testament more so, but the Old Testament's definitely not talking about one omnipotent creator with a bunch of judges with him. I mean, Psalms 82 is damn near undeniable. I mean, it says, you could the Elohim gathers one of the Elohim gathers the council of Elohim together, tells them to basically treat humans better and enlighten them because they live in darkness. Because remember that you can, even though you're gods and that your sons of the Most High or El Elyon, we can die. I mean, I think that's crazy that people will brush that aside. So, but yeah, I mean, most of the responses, I mean, we've been getting likes. We got likes and shit on the Instagram feed, but it's like there's a few criticisms, but it's like they're not warranted. I mean, I understand on certain times the word Elohim, and I even said this in our last podcast, is used in a singular form sometimes, but that doesn't change the fact that it's usually plural, and it speaks of the pantheon in general of multiple deities. So anything else on your side that you wanted to bring up?
I got a random request from someone asking if I can do a show and tell them random things on my death.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have anything like.
I'm sitting cross-legged on a bed.
I have fart putty.
Oh shit.
I do have a little fuggler. There.
A fuggler?
His name's Arlo. It was gifted to me from a friend that lives in the UK.
Oh, okay.
I have a Chick-fil-A gift card.
Oh, a Chick-fil-A gift card. I never liked Chick-fil-A.
It's been used. Oh wow, twins. You know what? Fuck you, Aaron.
What'd he say?
He said twins when I showed off the fuggler. Fucking asshole. At least I never used to look like Jesus.
He's the.
I have this cool ashtray that's not even an ashtray anymore that I just ran shit in.
Yeah. Be sure to check out Aaron Baker's was it Savage Wrestling podcast, by the way, if you like wrestling.
Yeah, the Savage Wrestling podcast. If you like wrestling.
You like that wrestling? Got the promo for your boy. Ooh, yeah. We're cutting the promo for the Savage Wrestling podcast.
So, one thing I would like to do before we end the podcast, it's a way to end today's episode.
I wasn't going to end it yet, but
no, I'm not trying to end it right now either. But this conversation might take a while.
Okay.
But it's going to be a great conversation. So, how last time we kind of dove into a little bit of our history, I want to dive into more of our history and talk about some of the shit we used to do when we hung out. And one of them that just hit me is, remember when we used to go on Omegle?
No. I'll be honest,
Wait,
I don't.
you don't remember when we used to go on Omegle?
Uh, I mean, I've used Omegle from time to time.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so one thing I remember, um, there's one day we went home from school and you were just like, "Have you ever been on Omegle before?" And I was like, "I don't even know what the fuck that is." And so we hopped on there, and you were you started doing that. You used to smoke cigarettes thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah, even Aaron's like, "Oh my god, no, not Omegle." Yeah, dude, Omegle was fucking crazy. And we were on there for like 2 hours. Then you started doing like your fucking Abu Dhabi impression. That was racist. I should not have said that.
Avi Dhabi, what the
Uh,
hell is that?
Middle Eastern Indian
Oh,
impression.
oh, no, 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 no. Hello, my friend. You go to Kansas. We get a place on Charlotte, my friend.
Dude, yeah, Aaron. There were so many dudes jerking it. Like we saw so many dicks, so many
Yeah,
dicks.
it's filled with that shit.
Yeah, that was crazy. But but no, but so the other day we were talking about what we should name our podcast before we became Misfits how can I not pronounce it?
Misfits in Termina.
And Misfits in Termina, yeah. Before we decided on that, pretty sure it got taken down by the FBI. What, Omegle? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Omegle got taken down by the
I don't know, cause
FBI.
me and young eight my brother, he's in some of it. But we went into Omega on VR chat.
Yeah, on VR chat, but it's a completely different thing. It's not even actually Omegle.
Oh, it isn't.
No,
I
it's still
thought
a
it. I
chat
thought
room.
it. I thought it was a client that went through.
No, but no, but we were talking about what we should name the podcast, and I had brought up some Digi and Majora lore when I said we should name it Fate of the Verse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We were really big into Hollywood Undead, and we were trying to be like basically a Hollywood Undead band, like 2.0. And I could, and that
yeah,
was before I learned how to sing. And then I was still very rusty. I mean, people liked my rhymes, but they've gotten a lot better over the years. But
yeah. That was back when I could just rap.
wasn't it you that tried to rhyme hunt with blood? You said you were arguing with me over it.
I
Like
think so.
you were like, nah, hunt and blood. It definitely rhymes. I'm like, what?
I was just saying you could use it for the chorus. I'm like, it doesn't matter, and you're just
I
like, it
don't
doesn't
know.
rhyme, and I was just like, but it doesn't matter.
No, you dead ass tried to you argued with me. You were like,
I
hunt and
did.
blood
I
rhymes.
argued. I was like, it doesn't matter. It could work. And you're just like, but it doesn't rhyme. And I'm like,
It
but it
doesn't
could
rhyme.
work. But anyway, so me and Majori here, God, this is like 2 years of our lives where we like attempted making music together.
Yeah, we
And
tried. We really was trying.
yeah, and we actually did record and release a song together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in high school it was a guy that we went to high school with. You didn't know him, but I did. And he died in a car wreck, so we made a song in memory of him.
And that was back when I used
And
to like, and I don't really want to promote that song. I'm just saying, I don't want to reveal anything about it because it was kind of.
no, that song's staying buried. It's Prince.
And I used to use a rasp in my voice.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did
Hey,
that so
what's up,
much.
sweet? Good morning to it's morning over in Sweden, man. What's up? Good morning.
Well, good morning, fool.
Good morning. Welcome to our podcast. But yeah, so that was cringe. But dude, like honestly, some of my favorite memories were just hanging out in your basement, working on music together.
Oh yeah,
Even
it was a
if like
classic
none of it.
pastime.
Oh, dude, like we did that all the time, and like when I say I used to go to Majora's house like every day, like literally after school, like at least 3 of the 5 school days I would be at his place hanging out until like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it was good old
And
times.
Yeah, and I don't even remember how we got on the topic of like general interest in making music together. Like I cannot remember how we even started on that.
Yeah.
But I know it started after the whole Taco Bell, Super Mario Bros. And playing the keyboard night.
Oh yeah.
I think because that was like it wasn't like one of the first times we hung out, but it was like one of the earlier days of us hanging out. I don't think I talked about this in our last podcast. Uh,
Oh, where we got stoned and played Smash Brothers.
yeah, so we had a smoking spot, and it was behind it was behind a Walgreens. If well, we don't even live there anymore, so I don't care if people know about that. But if you know the Huber Heights area in Ohio, there's a Walgreens on a certain street. I'm not gonna say which one, but we smoked back there a few times. But one of these nights, we got insanely like we smoked back there for a bit, and then you drove us to Taco Bell, and we loaded up on Taco Bell. And but dude, I always loved it because you would always get the stuff with potatoes.
Yeah, cheesy potato
Yeah,
nacho.
you always got the cheesy potato like wraps and stuff. Like you got like a couple of them, and I would get the quesadillas and shit. And oh yeah, dude, yeah, Aaron just said he literally just drove past where I'm talking about the other day. Um, but yeah, we loaded up on a bunch of Taco Bell, and we got back to his place, went to his basement, and I looked at him like Majora. We should play Super Smash Bros. And you're just like, dude, fuck yeah. So we started playing Super Smash Bros. Eating Taco Bell, and then we both looked at the key. He had this big ass keyboard. It was like huge. And we both looked at it. We both kind of just looked at each other. We're just like, oh yeah. So he grabs his fucking keyboard, lay it on our lap, and we start playing music, playing Super Smash Bros. Eating Taco Bell, high as fuck. And this is on a school night at like 10 o'clock at night. We were such bad kids.
Yeah, it was crazy. Good times,
So
good times.
bad. Yeah, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. And it was after that we started like writing music together. We started like thinking of band ideas, trying to dude, we went through like a couple different singers too, but the one that I always will never forget is Brian.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Brian scared me.
I can't remember what he sounds like, but I do remember him.
Dude, Aaron, the basement was legendary as fuck. It was the first spot I ever met you too. You and Chris.
Well, we've been going on for about an hour. You want to go for another little bit of time, or what's good?
I've been enjoying talking about this shit, dude. Like, it's fun to go back down memory lane.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it is classic. Especially like the old UAD days and like
Oh yeah, ugly ass dog.
Dude, oh, that's where the music came from because I started helping you film those short movies. Me, you, Tyler, and fuck, Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Kyle.
He's more into like filming nowadays, but he gets
Yeah,
in
dude.
there. He's in that whole
He's in a
scene.
band and he does photography and stuff. He's very talented.
He's
I
pretty
keep up with him on Facebook. Yeah, he does really good work.
He's came a long way.
Yeah, Aaron wants to get in Discord talk to this. Hell yeah, we'll definitely do that.
All right.
But yeah, no, we started making those short films we used to make, and dude, remember the first one we ever made, and it was like roommates with Jigsaw.
Man, I don't want to be bringing up my old videos, man. I just don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want people. I really don't. I think they were terrible.
Oh, we don't have to talk about the actual videos themselves. I'm just saying, remember those days.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Our last podcast was about 70 minutes, and we're at 62. So I think we should start wrapping this one up for now.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Just because we want to keep it kind of on the same time period, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the conversation. I think it's fun. For Baker, man, tell him. Well, I guess I can tell you. Next show that we'll do, just let me know in advance, and we'll get you on there if you wanted to.
Hey, be part of
If you wanted to get
shit.
in on it. I just, I want to keep this at this around the same time. Plus, I got to work tomorrow.
Right.
Shit, but yeah, this has been a good podcast, man. Like I said, I almost was going to say like fuck it, I didn't want to do it because I took a nap and I was groggy, but I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I went forward with doing
Yeah,
it.
that was
So
a great one.
yeah, so um,
Hell yeah.
yeah, so we didn't even work on that outro, but you can always
Yeah,
find
we
me
never
on.
came over the next one.
You can always find me, King Majora, Kxng Majora, on a variety of websites, from X to Twitter. Well, Twitter is X. Instagram, and there's a Facebook
Pornhub.
page. Oh yeah, Pornhub too, all that shit. I have a Newgrounds account that's got King Majora on it. Even, I mean, I don't have any Flash movies on there. Of course, you got DigiFits here. You want to say anything else before we wrap it up?
Buttered sausage. Where's it come from?
Shit, I don't even know. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Gary Busey, dude. He's got a thing with buttered sausage.
Hell yeah.
But no,
Well,
you can follow me on everything too. DigiFits on everything, but if you do like at it's DigiFits, you'll find me too.
yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for watching Misfits and Termina. We will see you all next time.